Mostly cloudy Saturday, Sunday. The rain chance 50% each day.
If she shows up, that would be wonderful. If she doesn't show up, that would be unfortunate. If she shows up, that would be wonderful. If she doesn't show up, it would be unfortunate.
Just had to play it again, because how unfortunate would that be and how sad would that actually be? Here's the open invitation. Poor old Chuck Grassley bending over backwards for Kavanaugh's accuser and nothing. Because as simplistic as this is what it turns into. They release the name Sunday night, and then all of a sudden it's, you must hear this woman's story. All right, let's set Monday for a hearing date. How dare you demand that she talk? All this going on, by the way, well, there's another underreported story that's happening out of Minnesota with Keith Ellison, who is, I believe he's the deputy chair of the DNC and also running for attorney general in that state. These are real credible assault charges, and the police report is out, and the medical records of his victim, his girlfriend, that's out. Nothing, though. Absolute silence, except for one part. She's going to be part of the panel at 9 a.m. In fact, you Loomered him not too long ago. Laura Loomer, investigative journalist, independent investigative journalist, finally in studio. We finally get to meet you in person. How are you?
Finally. I'm doing well. How are you?
Good, doing well. I'm sorry about the rerouting, trying to find the station today.
No, I'm here, and all is well. It's a beautiful day.
But it's happening, though. I mean, that's really a story, and you're probably, if I know you and following you online so far, you're going to get to that case in Minnesota again. But what hypocrisy is this, though? Well, that guy with real credible assault charges, but he's running scot-free, totally fine. Why is he getting away with that? And all of a sudden, Kavanaugh's accuser is ultra protected.
Well, because Keith Ellison is a Democrat. He's the deputy chair of the DNC. And as we have seen over the years with, Bill Clinton and others like Keith Ellison, the Democrats are hypocrites when it comes to the issue of sexual assault and rape. The Democrats have weaponized the Me Too movement and sexual assault and rape accusations in an attempt to conduct smear campaigns and character assassination on Republican opponents. You see, they did the same thing to President Trump. They tried to do it to Sean Hannity.
Sure.
Every single time there's a powerful conservative man in the media or politics, they now have decided to weaponize rape or sexual assault, right? Because it's the perfect way to assault or really just damage somebody's character, right? Because then you cause all these questions about their character.
And how dare you question the accuser?
Yeah, but we're going down this very dangerous path because the Democrats, as we have seen, they don't want to hold their own accountable. So there are multiple women who can actually remember the details of their rape and assault by Bill Clinton, unlike Christine Ford, who can't seem to remember anything, right? But the Democrats don't want to hear their stories. They don't want to hear Juanita Broderick, who remembers every single detail and wrote a book about her sexual assault at the hands of Bill Clinton and how, Hillary Clinton berated her. And then out of Minnesota, you have Keith Ellison, and there's two women. The media is barely talking about one of the women by the name of Karen Monahan, who dated him a couple years back. But there's a second woman by the name of Amy Alexander, who had a relationship with Keith Ellison in 2005 and in the 1990s too, I believe, when he was actually still married to his first wife. And both of these women have accused Keith Ellison of domestic violence. And unlike Christine Ford, who has not presented any evidence against Kavanaugh,
nothing credible,
Amy
nothing.
Alexander, there's a police report that is traced directly back to her home. And it mentions that the police were called to her home in 2005 for a report of domestic violence, and it actually names Keith Ellison in the report, and the media just wants to ignore this. The Democrats aren't talking about this police report. And then Karen Monahan, of course, her son took to Facebook last month and said that he witnessed Keith Ellison abuse his mother physically, verbally, emotionally, and that there's video. And then Karen Monahan, both of these women are Democrats, by the way. They're not Republicans. They took to Twitter and she said, yeah, well, my son is correct, and I have a video, and it's true. Keith Ellison abused me. I was in an abusive relationship with Keith Ellison. And just yesterday, she actually released a medical record from last year prior to him announcing his run for attorney general, right? So it's not like this was premeditated, because how would she know that he was running for attorney general? And it shows her doctor's dictation that says, well, my patient has, anxiety and stress levels, and it's directly related to her abusive relationship with Keith Ellison.
And she released this. So for you to release it, doesn't break any HIPAA laws or anything else, as you reported. It's out there.
She posted it, and then, of course, the mainstream media is ignoring it. But I was one of the first to report on it, and then I think others throughout the day commented on it. But you're just hearing absolute silence from the DNC. They've totally mobilized their masses, the Hollywood, all of these liberal politicians and talking heads and and pundits to come out and make these ridiculous like PSA announcements about Kavanaugh. I don't know if you saw the one that was on Fox and Friends this morning.
Yes, I did.
With all these women.
Yep.
But it's coordinated. And it almost makes me wonder if they planned this, right? If they plan to carry out character assassination in the form of a fake sexual assault accusation, because how do you get all these celebrities, right? These people who charge hundreds of thousands of dollars per appearance, right? Making millions of dollars. How do you get all these people in one place to send a video clip and organize the script? I mean, it just seems so scripted and fake, and it just seems like a total production. And how come they're not doing the same thing for Juanita Broderick or Karen Monahan or all these, Amy Alexander, all these other women who have accused Democrat men of sexual assault? And we know there's a lot of them,
and
because
for
there's
decades
the slush
now,
fund.
for decades, they've tried to get their claims heard and nothing. But all of a sudden, this pops up. Let me ask you this. Just getting aside of the politics and everything else, just as a woman, I mean, if you were ever a victim of this, does the entire Me Too movement and what it's been turned into, and you said it's been politicized, it's absolutely true now, doesn't this ultimately only hurt the victims? There are a lot of victims of this out there.
Yeah, it does, because there are a lot of women. 1 in 3 women in their life will be victims of domestic violence or endure some type of assault.
Sure, real
and
cases.
Then, it's up to the woman to decide whether she wants to report it, I guess, depending on the severity. But at the end of the day, people are not going to believe women as much, because now everybody is a victim.
It's absolutely
true. And they're trying to make it a trend, right? They're trying to make victim mentality a thing. And if you are truly a victim, right, I mean, that's horrible. Women shouldn't have to endure that, men either. But they're just using it now as a weapon, and it really just makes me doubt the integrity and the character of a lot of these women. And I personally, as a woman, would be less likely to believe somebody now based off of the Me Too movement.
Oh, I don't think you're alone either. And now you've even got people like Sean Penn, who saw this coming the other day, saying, I really question the validity of the entire Me Too movement now because of what you said. It's all been politicized. Even somebody like that questioning the whole thing, which... Okay, someday down the road, a year from now, maybe we're not talking about hashtag Me Too and that goes away. Yeah. But like I said, the victims here are real victims who have gone through this. And if there's anything light of this, I don't think you have kids, but I got 2 teenage daughters now. Seems even weird to say that. But at least if there's positive out of this, at dinner the other night, we talked about this, and I'm not afraid to tell you, this was how the conversation went. Don't become a victim, because no one will doubt you. If anybody, guy or anybody, treats you like this in a workplace or in a dating situation, I want you to beat the crap out of them as best you possibly can, kick them in the nuts as hard as you possibly can, and then go to the police. And that's all. And the reason why I said it so starkly and so frankly to them was I don't want them to fall into this victim mentality that all of us, why are we teaching everybody to just, suffer it and then years later go to a lawyer? Why?
Well, and I agree. And it's also becoming really absurd the way that they think that everything is assault now. I mean, if someone brushes up against you or someone makes a comment to you, I mean, whatever happened to just, flirtatious banter between men and women? I know men now who are becoming nervous to have relationships with women or talk to women or flirt with women because they're like, am I going to get accused of sexual assault or harassment in the workplace? And I mean, for me, there are many things that have happened to me that I could, I guess, scream, me too, me too.
I'm sure you could have.
I mean, I just don't make a big deal about it because for me, I mean, I just was taught that if something really isn't a big deal, just don't make a big deal about it, right? And I'm not excusing.
Not at all.
But I'm talking about people, making jokes or, kind of flirtatious remarks. I mean, just if I was a guy, I would be very careful.
That's our tease into the next segment. Are liberals killing foreplay? Coming up next. Can I ask, on a serious note, can I keep you longer through the break here? We're going to do some traffic right now. But seriously, I mean, that's...
No, they really are. And I tweeted that the other day. I said, I think they really are. Because now that's why the sex doll industry is rising. They're having these sex robots in production. And that's why they're so popular.
Well, it's good for Japan, but bad for us, right?
I don't think a robot will accuse you of rape.
No. Yet.